This meeting is being recorded.
Okay. Welcome to Grad Connect. My name is Kush Rawal, and today I'm in conversation with Nidhi, who has also enrolled as a GradRight ambassador representing Kedge Business School. Nidhi, please could you introduce yourself?
Hi Kush and hi GradRight. My name is Nidhi Prasad and I'm from a small town, Jamshedpur in India. And currently I'm pursuing Masters in International Business from Kedge Business School. And I'm also interning at Seva Logistics. And yeah, that's all what I'm doing right now. And let's talk further to discuss more about it, what my life is here at Kedge and in France.
Thank you, Nidhi, for the introductions. So today we'll be talking about Nidhi's journey to Kedge Business School and grab some insights about the university. Thank you, Nidhi, for taking time out to help Indian students with their journey to masters abroad. So, Nidhi, what led to the thought of pursuing a master's degree in international business?
So to talk about it, I'll start with my journey back in 2016 when I just passed my high school. And so it was quite interesting because my parents, they wanted me to pursue engineering, but I said no, I don't want to. So I was a rebel. I am a rebel actually. So I told them no, I don't want to do it. And business has always fascinated me, Kush. So I always used to fascinate about how a business particularly works. What
Right.
is marketing? These questions used to come up to my mind when I used to study commerce during my 12th. So after that, I led to doing bachelor's in commerce from Delhi University. And towards the end of my second year, when I was planning to do an MBA, the thought of masters came up on my mind. I was like, why not do a masters from a different country? Why just settle for a small area? Why just not explore? So back in 2019, there were few the what are these called? They were fests or fairs, education fairs held in New Delhi. So I visited few of the fairs in Delhi, and there I met representatives from a lot of different schools. And Kedge specifically, it fascinated me because the curriculum of Kedge, if I say it to be specific, is different from other business schools. We have a practical sense of education, and it's a learning by doing approach, which is very specific for Kedge. We don't just study here in Kedge. We just practically think how a business works. So we are thrown into this practical environment. We are given a lot of corporate projects, a lot of real time experiences, and we have to see how these things works. So there's a lot of critical thinking at Kedge. So this was told to me during those fairs or education fairs, but still I had to do my research. So I went on Google, I went on LinkedIn to find alumni of Kedge. I talked to them, and then I got to know that the life at Kedge is actually different from a lot of business schools. And I wanted this, and I really wanted to know about international business, specifically about how the global business works. And I just really didn't want to study theoretical, because in India and back in colleges, MBA colleges, be it any MBA colleges in India or bachelor's university colleges in India, we have a set of pattern which we follow, and it's more about theoretical knowledge.
Right.
You gain a lot of theoretical knowledge, but then you lack practical experience, which I think is very important in today's world. We need to know exactly how a business works in a practical manner. So this was something which led me to pursue international business, specifically from Kedge Business School.
Okay, so Kedge was the only school you had targeted, or there were others as well along with
No,
Kedge?
there were other business schools, like from a ranking of 1 to 10. It was like HEC Paris, it was Neoma Business School, Schema, and then Kedge. There was a lot of business school which I targeted, but specifically Kedge, as I already mentioned, because it was different from the other business schools actually.
Right, right, right. So, like you had decided what course you wanted to do, which universities you wanted to apply for, then how did you go about like making your profile and your resume strong?
So, the only thing which I would like to mention about making your profile strong is just look around. What first you have to figure out what you want to do, because if you don't know exactly what you want to do, then it might create a confusion. But if you know what you want to do, then it makes your path much easier, if I should say. So look around on LinkedIn of people who are doing the same thing as you want to do in your future. Just
Right.
go and see what are the skills they have learned in their career. So I did the same thing. I went on LinkedIn. I just saw my alumni, what they are doing right now, what are the job profiles they are in, and what are the skills required to build your profile. And then I started to build my profile from zero, I should say.
Okay.
So I learned different skills. I went on internshala. I learned digital marketing. From I learned a course from internshala. I did Excel as well, because Excel is something you need to master, and it
Right.
is required in every field, every job field, wherever you are. So you just have to look the specific skills which is trending in the job world, and then you have to learn or acquire those skills on your own. So I did those things, and then apart from that, I did some projects on my own voluntarily. I did some projects. So during my bachelor's, during the last year of my bachelor's, when I realized that I had to go for a master's degree, and I realized that I had to build my profile, and just by seeing the numbers, no college will admit me. I'll get to nowhere. So what I did, I wrote a research paper. I just asked my professor, my PhD professor in my undergrad, and I asked him, can I just help you or assist you with the paper you are writing on? And he said, yeah, sure, you can. So I did a research, and it was it in the field of marketing as well, because I knew I had to build a profile exactly in marketing and in business. So I asked him and I said that I want to help you. He said, yeah, you can do it. So I did a research, I wrote a paper, and then it was published. It got published, and then I presented that paper in a national conference in India. So this is how I started building my profile. I voluntarily did things on my own. I learned skills on my own, and then it was bit by bit what I did, and I actually made my resume like this, as I should say.
It was a great journey. I mean, you like decided with what you wanted to do, then
Yeah,
decided the universities you'll be applying to, and then you aligned your
yeah.
profile with the courses and to get your to make your admissions chances strong to get admissions over there. So, can you highlight the application process and did you get any scholarship and what's the scholarship process as well?
So at Kedge, first you need to apply online. So then they ask you a lot of questions specifically. So for a lot of colleges, you just have to write one SOP and then it works. But for Kedge, it's little bit different. They ask you around 4 to 5 questions relating to your profile, relating to what you have did in your bachelor's, or what is your background, and what do you want to do in future. And there's one specific question which they'll ask is, what do you expect from us?
Right.
What do you expect from Kedge Business School? As a business school, what do you expect from us? So these are the set of questions which they ask you specifically during the application process, actually. So you have to take your time while filling the application. So take your time, at least I would just say take 1 week, and think about those questions, because the rest others are basic questions about your personal information, about your background, little bit history, that's all. But there are set of questions which is important. These are 4 to 5 questions which you need to answer. So you don't have to write just one SOP. For Kedge Business School, you have to answer 4 questions or 5 questions maybe. So take your time, think about the questions. And one thing is actually very important. They don't want to know what you have did in your bachelor's, as in what you have scored, how much you have scored. They're not interested in that. They are more interested in your skills. what you have done and what you have acquired on your own. And like if you have any certifications or if you have voluntarily did something, mention that, because that's important. Even if it's 5 years old, even if it's 10 years old, that doesn't matter. But you have did something which you are proud of, mention that. That's very important. Your marks is not going to let you anywhere, because it in France specifically, it doesn't matter.
Right.
They won't ask you how much you have scored. In fact, now also they didn't ask us how much you have scored. So you have to actually say what you are on a personal level, and what are your goals, career objectives, that they'll ask. So this is very important while filling the application form. And after that, then they'll send you that if you are selected for the second round or not, just by looking at your profile. If you are selected, they'll send you an email saying that you have been selected for the second round. And then you'll have a Skype interview. Before that interview, they'll send you another set of questions. They'll send you around 4 or 5 questions again, which is kind of related to your field which you have selected. Like 2 questions will be from the field which you have selected, one generic questions about the culture. This is mandatory in France. You have to know the French culture beforehand coming to France. This is mandatory. So they'll ask you one question about the culture, about the language, and one question is a general question about your personality trait. So there are 4 to 5 questions again, which in the second round they'll ask you specifically. So you have to be careful with that, with these set of questions, because yeah, you can just Google the questions of the field which you are. You can Google it and answer it, but the rest of the 3 questions is kind of important, and it's behavioral questions, if I should say. So these questions they'll ask you again, and then they'll send you a link to a Skype interview, saying that yes, you have been selected for the third round, or congratulations, you're into the third round. This is a general conversation which we would like to do. And that round actually depends on the person who is interviewing you.
Right.
If the person is someone who really wants to chit chat, then it will be a quite easy interview for you. But if the person is like quite what should I say, I don't know, if he's more into what you have learned, or he or she wants to know what will be you at Kedge, like whether you'll be an asset to Kedge or what will you do at Kedge. So he or she will literally ask you a lot of questions about the business environment. For me, it went like the person asked me a lot of questions about international business, a lot of questions about economics. So it went like from here, it was here, and then here. So it was great, but yeah, it's okay, if I should say. You can manage.
Thank you for highlighting the application process. And for the scholarship, it's like included with your application, or you have to apply it
Yeah,
extra.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I forgot to mention. But yes, for the scholarship, you have merit-based scholarship. During the application process only, you have to fill that form. You can just opt out if you don't want to, or if you feel that you'll not be able to get into any scholarship. But I would suggest just fill it.
Right.
Just fill it, because I did, and I got a scholarship of around 2 lakhs INR. So yes, you can fill the merit scholarship. Apart from it, you have the early bird scholarship at Kedge. So if you apply before 29th of February, if I'm not wrong, yes, if before 29th of February, you get an early bird scholarship of 2% on your tuition fees or something like that. I don't remember the exact number right now, but yeah, you get an early bird scholarship. You can also get a merit scholarship, and if you pay the complete fees beforehand, and then again you get a scholarship of 1% on your total fee. So you have 3 scholarships which you can get simultaneously, or one of them either. So that's
You
okay.
for highlighting all those scholarship because it's a really important part for a student. And
Yeah.
going forward to the university life, can you tell me how diverse is your batch and what backgrounds do other students have?
So a lot of people are French here, but we have international students coming from a lot of different countries around the world. We have people from Asia, China, Thailand, Vietnam, and then we have Indians, and then we have from Europe, Italy, Russians, and a lot of diversity is there actually at Kedge. So you get to meet a lot of international students as well. Uh, it depends on you exactly. How do you want to? manage that. But yeah, we have a lot of international student at Kedge. A lot
And
of, I don't know.
what is like the undergrad background they have?
Different backgrounds. Some of them are from engineering background,
Right.
some of them are from business background, and I guess a lot of people were from engineering background in my batch. So yeah, I met a lot of people who had a technical background as well, a lot of people who had a design background, a lot of people who had just business background. So a lot of diversity in this term as well, because for me international business is something everyone wants to learn, and in every field. So I met a lot of people who had an entrepreneurship mind, and they wanted to do international business because they wanted to start their own business.
Right.
And in terms of age, if I should mention, we had a lot of people who were like around 35 or 40 as well. They started their masters at Kedge, and yeah, it was quite a good experience at Kedge to meet a lot of diversity in terms of everything.
Okay. Can you tell me how intense is the course and were you able to manage a part-time job along with it?
uh, uh, it is just my opinion. I'm just saying I was not able to manage part-time job. If it suits you, you can go for it, because a lot of people has asked me this question, and I say the same thing, that uh, you can manage your part-time jobs for just like 2 to 3 months during the summers when the college is closed. If you're doing a 2 years masters from Kedge Business School, you can manage. But if you're doing a 1 year masters, that is M2, then you'll not be able to manage. I just forgot to mention that you have a choice at Kedge. If you have a 4 years bachelor's, you can opt for M2, that is just 1 year master's. But if you have a 3 years bachelor's, they will suggest you to go for a 2 years master's. That is M1, that is the pathway course, and M2, that is the complete course. So for me, I had a 3 years bachelor's degree, so I opted for 2 years master's, M1 and M2. So if you are going for 2 years, you can manage during summers. But if you just for 1 year, I would just suggest focus on your course. That's all, because it's intense. Because the semesters are like, you have 4 months of studies, and then you have a corporate project or you have a project going on. So you have to simultaneously focus on both things. For that 4 months, you'll be intensely dedicated to your subjects, and there'll be a lot of things going on around the college around you. So I would just advise to focus on the things going on around the college, because I know, I understand that for some people money matters. But if you do this thing correctly, you won't have a problem. You'll be able to get internships. Like, you can do 2 internships or 3 internships if you want, or you can either go for alternates in your second year. If you did your M1 from Kedge, you can go for alternates. You have to just apply before March, and you can have like in a month, 2 weeks of college and 3 weeks of work, and this will help you. You can have a practical experience in a company. The company will pay your tuition fees. So I just want to tell all the students, just focus on your studies and focus on building your profile, and learn French if you want, because French is something which is important here in France. I would not just say that it's like it's the one thing which you have to focus, but it is great to learn a language. It is an asset to you. You can learn a language, you can do everything here, and you can meet people if you know the language actually. So you have to do it. I would just say that for 1 year, don't go for part time. Just focus on the college and look around what's happening in the college. With this, you can get internships. You can get internships, and they'll pay you, and you learn a skill.
Thank
But
you
for
for the
part time,
advice.
yeah,
Uh, Thank you for that advice because it's really an important guidance
yeah,
towards like you're already directing the students and telling them beforehand like this is what you have to do. So it's like a good
exactly,
path they can follow. Can you
exactly.
tell me throw some light on the recruitment journey and which companies or fields do students generally get placed into?
So actually, for the recruitment journey, this is something which is very important to mention, Kush. It's like, since you're also in a different country and you must have experienced that, in Europe specifically, there's nothing as such called campus placement.
Right.
This is something which we need to mention, that we don't have anything as such campus placement. But there are companies visiting the colleges, and actually the professors which we have, they are not exactly professors. They are someone who has already worked before, and now they are just teaching because they want to do it.
Right.
They have a PhD degree and they have worked before, they have an experience. So for us, The recruitment process was like when towards the end when we were looking for internships, final year internships, Kedge assisted us. We had dedicated platforms where we have n number of positions open for just Kedge Business School. It's reserved for Kedge Business School. So you just have to go on job teaser, it's the platform, and apply, keep applying, and then they will help you. They'll tell you, yeah, they'll tell you that this, your CV, this does not look good, you just have to change it. We have specific career faculty dedicated to this. They'll help you at each step of your process. They'll
Okay.
tell you that yes, this CV is not good, you have to change your CV, and then they'll tell you, okay, you have an interview tomorrow, we can have a mock interview, like right now or whenever you want. So they'll actually take your interview and say that yes, this is good. And the person who is taking your interview is not like someone who is teaching at Kedge. They hire someone from outside who is an HR, or who is someone who's already working in an organization, a manager maybe, and he or she will take your mock interview. So this prepares you for the process. But we don't have anything as such campus placement. We
Oh,
have a lot of listed companies, and they'll also tell you that this is the, they'll send you emails every time that this is the openings available, you have to go and apply. So that's the case. I did the same thing. Kedge helped me at every process. I got an offer from Estee Lauder. I got an offer from a lot of different companies. But since I did international business, I did something from export import. So I just wanted to go into a logistics company. And so I am now working at Seva Logistics. And Seva and CMA Logistics, it's one of the top 5 logistics companies in the world. And I'm very proud of it because right now I'm working on the Ferrari project, because my company, we are sponsoring the F1 Formula 1 Ferrari champions, the team partner of Ferrari, Scuderia Ferrari. So right now I'm working on that project. So it's a really great experience, and Kedge really helped me while getting this internship, and throughout each and every process it helped me, like during my interviews, the mock interviews, everything.
I want to congratulate you on getting such a great internship. And
Yeah.
thank you for highlighting the process and telling what is the procedure about applying and how you can go ahead with it. Can you like tell me on average what are like the average living expenses in a month for you?
Okay, yeah. So I am living in a student accommodation. It's just 2 stops from Kedge. So it's Alotra Student Residence in Marseille actually. We have Kedge and Bordeaux and Marseille and Toulon also. So wherever Kedge is located, we have student residence near to Kedge. So cruise specifically, it's very cheap. You get an apartment, a studio for 239 euros. It ranges from 230 to 300 euros, a single room with a shower. And it's like the rent approximately is 300 euros if you want to share a studio. And if you want to go for like individual, it's like 400 to 500 euros.
Okay.
Apart from the rent, if you are very simple, you will not spend more, you will be around, your expenses per month will be around 600 max. And if you want to live like lavishly, still you'll not exceed, like from it will be it will range around 700 to 800 euros. You'll not spend more than that. You will not spend more than that.
Okay. So we have like come across where good things about Kedge Business School. Like, can you tell me a few things you don't like about Kedge Business School?
Okay. Yeah, that's, I have to think about it. I'll think and I'll tell you. Wait, just give me 2 seconds. uh
You can also
it's not.
tell a few good things as well.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
if you
yeah.
want to
The good
highlight.
things actually are a lot because I enjoyed my journey of like 2 years. Now I'm like, I just want to go back to college because there's no classes and I miss my classes because they do a lot of things for students. So because now we had a student trip, like it was a study trip last this April actually, and it was really great. They like, it was COVID, since they planned something for us. We had to go to Brussels, but we couldn't because it was COVID time. So they
Right.
took us inside the France, south of France. We visited everything inside south of France. And if you know, south of France is just beautiful. It's just beautiful. Apart from this, yes, you have something sort of like delayed in administration process sometimes. So sometimes it's everywhere, I should say. It's not just with Kedge, it's everywhere. Like sometimes I used to just go to student office and ask them something, and they used to be like, we can't help you, you just have to go somewhere else, you have to meet the program coordinator. So it's actually everywhere, it's not just about Kedge. So the administration process is sometimes delayed, but they respond to your queries very soon. Actually, you just have to mail your program coordinator, and you have a dedicated mentor, a program coordinator and a mentor assigned to you. So you can just have to ask them and they'll help you. So if you're feeling anything about it, and there's an international students coordinator, and she or he can help you if you have any problems, because since we are internationals, they take care of us like in a better way, and they look after us in a better way. So that's the thing. So sometimes you just have a delayed administration process, but I would just say this is everywhere, because
Okay.
there are factors which we have to consider.
Right. So, if you could go back in time, do you feel you could have done a few things differently, or do you feel this is the right path for you?
No, this is the right path for me. I every time think about it, and because I have this thing, and I every time look back, because I have to see if I'm in a better place or not, or if I'm a better version of myself or not. So I would just say no. Wherever I am now, I'm really happy, and it's all because of people around me. It's all because of my mentors, my teachers, and my dedication, and whatever I've done right now. That's all.
That's
I'm
amazing.
happy.
Any last advice for the students who want to pursue their masters at Kedge Business School?
Yeah, just build your profile, look around, meet your alumni, just connect with them on LinkedIn. I would just say the alumni of Kedge are very good, they are really very helpful. And specifically if you are an Indian and if you're looking for any advice, just look for Indian students at Kedge. They are absolutely very helpful, they'll help you with everything. Apart from it, I would just suggest, it's not an obligation, because I don't know French that much. I'm just A2 right now. Still,
Okay.
I got an internship in a global company. We don't need French in our day to day workings. But I would just suggest learn French, because with that, you will be able to communicate with the locals in a proper way, and they'll accept you. You just have to try, because I just say sometimes bonjour and they're like, oh, sava bia, and it's very good most of the time. But if you just go straight to them and say "Vous parlez anglais," it means like you speak English, and they'll be like, no. So learn French if you're coming to France.
Thank you for the advice. Thank you, Nidhi, for taking time out. I know a lot of Indians will benefit from the insights you have shared today. It was a wonderful experience talking to you, and I wish you all the best for your journey ahead.
Thank you so much, Kush. I would just want a lot of Indian students to come to France, and a lot of Indian students to come at Kedge.
Thank you.
Thank you.